guys, Blue Halo Med Spa has a Valentine's Day special right now. Buy a $100 gift card and get a $20 bonus card and a box of chocolates for free. Call Blue Halo at 690-6029 or stop by 804 Old Bardstown Road, just off the Gene Snyder Freeway. Blue Halo Med Spa has a Valentine's Day special right now. Buy a $100 gift card and get a $20 bonus card and a box of chocolates for free. Call Blue Halo at 690-6029 or stop by 804 Old Bardstown Road, just off the Gene Snyder Freeway.
This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. They would look at the steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Marcus Maven. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maven off the steal.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven. Break it down like this. Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And people, I give you that number for a reason. I give you the text number for a reason. 3831-93.9. I introduce my cohorts for a reason, because I'm going to be depending on all of y'all today, like you normally depend on me. Steve Rummage in the building, Brian Hall in the room.
I hate sports, just in general, a lot of times. But I do got a hotel booked in Tampa to go to WrestleMania. Look, I don't know. What do you want to say? We're gonna get into every piece of this, and we will come back around a little bit. Not all the way, because I think there's some things. But today we've got to. I know you've got some things that we've got to identify from different perspectives.
Yes, indeed.
We have to. Anytime there's a loss like last night, I think you have to identify what was last night and what was an issue going forward, if any. And we got to talk starting lineups, because Coach Mack has now mentioned that is going to probably change. So a lot to get to. And, of course, we're going to take your calls. 8150-93.9, 3831-93.9 is the text line. Just be angry. That's okay today.
Brian Hall in the booth. What's going on, my man?
Just being angry like you guys talked about. It was a tough one last night. It's a game that we had talked about for a while, that we were kind of just almost looking past, just Georgia Tech and then Clemson, and then looking to next week for Syracuse, and it came back to bite us. It's kind of, I don't know, becoming a trend that we're down early and then having to work our way back. So maybe the lineup change at the start might be something that we need. I'm hoping that it's a wake-up call for the team going forward, though.
You said something there, and I won't jump right into it because I'm going to let Marcus kind of captain this one, because I know he's got a plan. But you said, I don't like the wake-up call thing, because I am like, y'all upperclassmen. Y'all should know. But I do like what you said before that about maybe this is a good reset point on the season. And that's something we can get into today, too.
So here's the thing for today, people. A lot of times when I listen to Bob Valvano, he makes a joke called "State Your Business." Whenever somebody comes into the studio and bothers his producer, he makes them state exactly what they're here for. I want to do kind of that in a different way. Here's the thing: there's so many different ways to react. Some callers are reacting from the athlete in them, like the inner athlete, right? Mm-hmm. So when they criticize, sometimes it doesn't come across well. Like, no, I'm speaking from when I played. And again, I don't judge about levels of how you played because athlete mentality is an athlete mentality no matter how much.
Sure.
If you loved baseball at 12 years old, you knew if you put in the work to get better and you saw which kids put in more work than you be successful and which kids didn't put as much work as you and which was focused. So you know what we're talking about.
Yep.
So some calls and some opinions come from that guy. High level, low level. It's a player athlete perspective. Some people were never really that good, but they could teach the game. You know, some people have just watched enough sports that they can offer a perspective on just being, hey, son, like I've watched 50 years of basketball. I've watched 20 years of basketball. I've been watching in detail all this time, you know. So my opinion comes from if I was, you know, as like almost a coach perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then there's almost like individual. So, okay, so there's coach, there's former player, and then there's if I'm a player on this team talking to my teammates. If I'm kind of on the lower level, okay, if I'm Malik, what do I say to Jordan? If I'm Jordan, what do I say to David? If I'm, if I'm Ryan, what do I say to, whoever? So that, what I want you to do kind of, if you want to participate today, kind of make sure we know which perspective you're coming from.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, because like I said, when I put myself in the position of, player on the team, I can be critical. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As a coach, I can be supportive, or I can say, if you don't learn to do this, you won't accomplish your goals. But I just think today is important that we kind of differentiate, which perspective you're coming from.
I think that's fair.
Okay, well, if there were going to be three perspectives to come from and you had to choose with any one of them, texters, I'll also give you the opportunity to do that. 38, 31, 93.9. If you were to choose which perspective you want to approach the first segment of today's show, go ahead and let us know which part of the callers. Again, I see you. You're more than welcome to come in.
Yeah. Today we will take any and all.
Okay, so if it was just up to you, like if I get a flood of responses that want to come from a certain perspective, I'll go there. But if it were up to you, just which one are you most excited to jump into?
Well, I mean, of course, for me, it would be player or coach, but because I think that holds the most substance.
It's player, fan, and coach.
Yeah. And I think but I do think that player coach holds the most substance. But today, after a loss like that, after a 10-game win streak,
do we start a fan?
I think fan is what you are, is the main,
Well, speaking of how to start a show with the fan reaction, we're going to go. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Start us off right.
What up, Mark? What up, Steve? You want to know where I'm coming from?
Indeed.
Where I'm coming from is I'm done with the Fred Kimmel experiment. It's time to start DJ. Quit with this mess, Matt. Just start DJ right now. Because last night, I don't know what Fred Kimmel was thinking. Seriously, and plus, why would you run a play for Malik Williams to a 3-pointer out of timeout? And I keep telling you, Marcus, when Jordan don't move his feet, he is standing around, then he don't play a good game. Last night, Jordan decided, I don't want to move my feet. I'm just going to stand in one place, wait for the ball.
So you want to play? So is that fan Lawrence talking? Is that coach Lawrence talking, or is that former player Lawrence talking?
This is fan Lawrence talking. The fan that's really pissed off right now, and the ladies better not lose tonight either.
I appreciate the call. Lawrence is always sure to throw in that one. I'm waiting for the ladies to handle their business. A couple of points. He brought up the starting.
Yeah.
From a fan perspective, starting from a fan perspective, the rush for DJ is going to be huge.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine another game this season tipping off with number 13 not in the game. I
as a fan,
I can't fathom it. That David Johnson does not start every game going forward from here on out. I can't even Imagine that. And I'm not totally just praising David for last night either.
Right.
I mean, he had some flaws last night too.
Right.
But we rode the streak. You take an L, and now when Coach Mack talks about changing up the starting lineups, it's like, okay, I felt you for a while, but now you got to change.
The wins helped us ignore or quellish the agitating, moments.
And look, and I don't think he will be the only change. It's something we can get into, but David Johnson is the Louisville starting point guard from here on out. Period. Like, there's no questions asked now. Like, you took the loss. There's nothing around it. He's the starting point guard. And if not, like, the fan base is coming and hell is coming with them. Like, if you try to come back to this Yum Center and start anybody but David Johnson, I know they're at Clemson next, but I literally think people may boo the starting lineups. Like, we're to the point now where it's like, it's a must. It's a must.
Reggie, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maben. Fire away.
Steve, I'm not that fan. I disagree with you, man. I care about who finished the game. I don't care about who starts the game. That's kind of my question. But, man, fellas, we shot 3 for 14 last night, fellas, 12.5%. We played horrible, and we lost by 6. We played horrible and lost by 6.
How did they play?
A weak team. They made some shots. They made some tough shots at tough times. And
you think Georgia Tech was tough?
I don't think they was tough. I think they was ready for us. Because you got to think, we beat them at home. We barely beat them at home. And they feel like they should have won that game. We came out flat. We came out like we didn't want to be there. But the one
hang on, Reggie, real quick. I do want to ask you this. You just said you don't care who starts; it's only about who finishes. But then you said one of the problems was we came out flat. We started that game down 12-2. Like that's a problem.
We came out like we expected to run over them. Like we expected them to lay down.
Right, I agree.
One thing I won't say, and I'm gonna let y'all go with this. What about that lineup with Noah, Sutton, DJ, Malik, and Enoch?
I love
the size on the court at that time. I think he wanted to save it for tournament time, but he had to go to it last night. But fellas, I'm telling you, we straight. We're gonna be good. It's a bump in the road. We lost, Hey, we be good, y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Appreciate the call. Big lineup you loved.
Right. I did like the bigger lineup. I like that. But to listen back to what I was saying with Reggie, like I get what Reggie's saying. Okay, so I'm not like attacking Reggie here. I get what he means when you say, well, I don't care who starts, who finishes. I agree with that. All that's nice.
No, it's important who finishes, but the starting the game is also important.
But you lost the game last night because of how you started it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know
you know what I mean by that. That first 5 minutes, 6 minutes set the tone for what the game was going to be. We can't keep doing that. So I'm like, absolutely not anymore. I need a starting lineup there that's going to be consistent on a game day. You don't think David wouldn't? David was getting to the bucket at will last night. Now, to be fair, he missed a lot when he got to the rim. But you wouldn't want that to start the game out? You wouldn't want David, who's the smartest guy on the court, with the ball in his hands, with the ball in the first 5 minutes of the game?
And I will say this, for those of you who are critical about David's layups missed, how many times did he miss a layup and we're in perfect position to rebound?
Yeah.
Because he's attacking a lot and he's bringing help.
It's the easiest rebound to get.
Right. When a guy who can finish attacks the basket, a big, strong, athletic guy gets the basket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just how many times have we watched our rivals have guys that just get to the basket, get up on the glass?
Yeah.
Follow right on.
100%.
Jake, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on mine?
Good morning, Mr. Maven. Now, this is my question, Marcus. Now, you was wanting to go with Fresh Kimball so bad. What did you think at the end of last night's game when he didn't convert towards the basket, he slipped and fell.
I was so disappointed in Fresh Kimball.
I know.
When he fell.
I was too.
When he fell right there.
I was too.
Oh, okay, now I'll tell you what. My son was a year ahead of David Johnson. I watched David Johnson. My son played at Manual. I watched David play at Trinity. Him and the guy that's coming in next year.
Scrub. Yep.
Scrub.
Yep.
Jay Scrub. But I'm gonna tell you what. I believe Fresh Kimball, as far as on the, being in there, I think he ought to be behind Ryan Martin on the rotation. That's my opinion, and I was looking at your opinion a while back, and I thought I said, okay, I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna see where he's coming from. But it's just something in me just saying Fresh is not the one. And yesterday you made a comment, the best dunker at U of L. Marcus, you were good. Don't get me wrong, you were good. But I have to give it to my partner, LeBron. I just have to. Thanks, guys, and I'll hang up and listen.
Appreciate it, Jake.
I appreciate that, Jake. I appreciate the call. Did I say I was the best dunker?
No, I don't think
Did
so.
I ever say I was better dunker than LeBradford Smith?
No, but no.
I never said that. And by the way, Steve, we never cleared that up. You do realize I'm the shortest guy on that top 10 dunkers list, right?
Yes.
Everybody on that list, Trez, Purvis, all these guys are 6'10" and 7 feet. And here you got little old Marcus Maben in here at number 7 on the list, and y'all are making fun of me.
This is true.
Jake, why are you making fun of me about
Just
my
let
dunking?
me be. Just let me be today.
Like, Jake, let's not act like that one play at the end of the game, Fresh Kimball fell like he wasn't a part of this 10-game winning streak. Let's not act like Fresh didn't come up huge in about 6 straight games down the stretch.
No, he did. He did. I mean, I was disappointed in him last night too, though.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, and it's like,
bad.
But that doesn't mean listen, signing off on Fresh starting doesn't mean it's what I would do.
Right.
I say I would start David Johnson, but I'm okay with Coach deciding. And I said it because if you want the good David Johnson energy for the meat of the game, that's a strategy decision.
Yeah.
Until you see that the strategy is not working.
And David's conditioning is getting better. And my thing is, look, David can start the game at this point, and David should be able to play 32 minutes. I'm sorry. You should be able to play 32 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
you can give me 28 to 32.
Yeah, because you're basically going to be playing a half a season.
Right.
You did not play the first half of the season.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's like you should be able to play 28 to 32 minutes for the rest of the season. It's just, sorry. Do it.
What we got on this one? Steve, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey, guys. Love the show. Got a quick question and a comment. My comment is I think David Johnson should start going forward. Definitely. Other comment I got is it's about energy. It's coming from a basketball player's perspective. It's about energy. So, Marcus, you play. So if your shot wasn't going to fall during the game, you realize, hey, I'm a little bit off. Let me go to the line. Let me be aggressive. Let me.
Is that IQ? Is that IQ or energy?
That's IQ. For me, it's IQ. Because say like I hoop. If you're hooping and you're not hitting your jump shots, let me get a little contact, get to the line, and get calmed down. Get a couple free throws going down. Here's my issue: Texas Tech, Duke, and now Georgia Tech. A team we should have mollywop, straight mollywop. Here's the issue: Jordan's energy is so bad. My son, we watched the game last night. Hey, Dad, why is he shying away from the ball? Why is he the Alvarado, whatever the kid's name was? He's penetrating. No, it's backing away. Not even trying to trap the ball or create a jump ball. Your energy dictates your other players' energy. You're supposed to be our star? No, I'm sorry. David Johnson is our star. He should have been playing a lot more than the season, but he's just not coming on. It's all about energy. We're not bashing this kid. What he did by coming back this year was knock himself out of a lottery. So to look at that, he has no heart. He drops his head. You watch his energy, man. If he doesn't hit a shot or if he gets the ball stolen, he drops his head. That kills the entire team. So you take him out of the game, Immediately. Replace them. We should have lost the game. First of all, it should have been that close. We played a horrible game. It's going to happen late February before March Madness tournament. It's going to happen, but it happens. But the game shouldn't have been that close in the first place because he didn't have any energy. He's not a great leader, and what he did by coming back this year and show those scouts, I'm not a lottery pick. Send me somewhere late second round. I'm not deserve a lottery pick. Thanks for the call. Hey, best dunker, number 5. You're right, man. All you are. We love seeing those small guys get up and grab that rim like Donovan Mitchell, like Russ Westbrook. So best dunker, hands down, number 5. Go Cards. All right, thanks for calling, man.
No, Steve, listen, I appreciate it. I knew there was going to be a lot of Jordan energy after a game like this.
And let me say, because I know I went to bat for him a lot, and I still go to bat for him. But last night, he was terrible. Was he terrible,
or did his skill set get exposed?
A little bit of that. I think that's a good point. But just, and maybe not even skill set, maybe mentality even. When you have a smaller guy on you, and I don't think he got in the paint once.
He tried. He got called for a push off on.
Well, no, I'm talking off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You never took that dude into the paint, not one time. Like,
yeah, the one like say he went down into the paint. They tried to get it to him, and they called him for a push off, which is a bad call.
Yeah, sure. There was plenty of that.
But here's the thing to what you're saying. Jordan does that flare at the top of the key, right?
Yep.
And when the guy comes over the top, and Jordan just keeps going farther out and farther out to the 3-point line, right?
Yeah.
And during all this win streak, I say, Steve, Jordan never dives to the basket with any intention. Think about that. You have a guy who's chasing you around the top of a screen.
Yeah.
And behind him is nobody between you and the basket.
Yep.
And the guy's coming over the top. And if you don't get that 3-pointer flare, you just go right to the corner. You're supposed to dive to the basket to see if and here's the problem with that in particular. It's a poor habit. And this is me, a coach.
Sure.
This is like the Denny Crum in me right now.
Okay.
That poor habit of not cutting to the basket when you don't get the flare, when you don't get that 3-point at the top of the key and you don't dive to the basket looking for the ball, there is no help. Everybody can stay on their man, and it's hard to even make the next pass because Florida State is long enough to push you out to half court. That's why you don't get any good looks against them. But if you don't dive to the basket, if you don't cut hard, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get exposed by any athletic teams. Not cutting hard to the basket gets you exposed by any kind of, similarly quick, smart teams.
Yeah.
And it's a habit that's going to show its ugly head from now until the game is not played anymore.
Yeah.
Like that is and again, I always get mad at the player because I'm like, that play is for you to have a chance to score an easy bucket.
I know.
And if jump shots is your only idea, easy buckets, you're going to hit a wall.
I know. And last night was
it was for me. It was perfect. You know, I get in here on these days, especially after a loss, and I'm almost happy.
Right.
I'm happy. I get to show you the video.
I'm actually, what I was going to say was last night was unacceptable from Jordan, but I'm actually kind of with you on that because I do think that there were things. I think last night allows Coach Mack to, for one, change some things up. Not just starting lineups, just in general. It allows him to change some things up. It allows him to correct some things. So, I'm not totally against you on it was about time. Yeah. I'm not totally against you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not letting this team off the hook by any stretch of the imagination.
You can have both. Yeah. You can have both. I've been appreciating the win streak, but I also it takes this for you to listen.
Yeah.
Listen because I can start off this conversation with That was a bad look. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
And I can get your attention with that. And I can say, okay, Ethan Moore was sitting in here, right?
Yeah.
I guess he was texting maybe Birdhead during the game.
Right.
And I guess the message was relayed that Coach Mack slammed his chalkboard or whatever.
Yeah.
His dry erase board and told Jordan to stop jogging.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody watches the lives and listens to me talk to Steve or has heard me talk to Steve, I say my biggest pet peeve is jogging on a court.
Right.
Like I remember just like one of the first years Rick Pitino was here and somebody got fouled at the end of the game. And it was like one of those end of the game shooting free throws.
Yeah.
And guys were kind of walking up the court to get to the free throw line. And just the way he barked and the way everybody jumped to run, like the basketball court. Like I remember here's the other problem. I remember when Coach Mack, like month 1, was like talking about, guys, you don't get to jog on and off my court. Get off the court.
Yeah.
You run onto the court.
Yeah,
run off the court. You remember he did that?
Yeah.
So it's like his harshness on the players being tested because you see these guys jog and Coach Mack talks about Jordan's weakness being casual, right?
Right.
I'll even go a step further because I want people to know that I'm talking from both perspectives on this.
Yeah.
That non-goaltending, and I'll say it, that non-goaltending on David Johnson. You know what You know what that was? That was a product of being casual.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And getting away with being casual.
I agree with that.
Not using the glass, not attacking the glass, not Dan Dockich says the other day, he says, don't broad jump, high jump.
Yep.
Attack the glass. Like I said, they do everything so casual. Malik Williams gets fouled. He turns around, they call a foul. He kind of just tosses it up. Guy pitches it.
Yep.
That's important.
I know.
That's an attitude.
I know.
Nobody, everybody probably knows this highlight. One time Allen Iverson gets fouled. He shoots the shot. The guy blocks Allen Iverson's shot after the whistle.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson grabs the ball and then throws a floater up to the rafters.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go put this ball in. I'm not going to let you block my shot, even though it's after the whistle.
Right.
But the mentality of casual movement on a court, it shows.
I think you're 100%
and then
right.
And then you try to tighten up, and then all of a sudden you're jogging because it's a 2-point game and it's 2 minutes to go. And other teams have been executing at a higher intensity rate. It just shows. So now we can go to the tape and say, guys, this is what it is.
I said that on the goaltend, man. I'm with you 100%. Look, I think the problem was it looked like a goaltend because the guy jumped late enough that it should be a goaltend.
Right.
So your brain said, well, when he went up,
David, you were so close to the backboard.
That's got to be a goaltend until you watch the replay and you're like,
no, Dave. Yeah, Dave.
Well, he got it at the peak.
Yeah,
because
you floated. Yeah, you floated. You didn't attack it. You didn't go two hands intense.
Right.
You
put that on the glass. There's no way he blocks that after it hits or before it hits the glass.
Right.
Like it was just there was no attack there, and when he put it up, you're like, I mean, you could maybe argue it was close, but it was like it was
close enough to not make the call. I mean, Jordan's in transition, right? They give him a bounce pass. Jordan reaches back almost like one-handed, and then he loses the ball, and he still follows through with the motion like he was shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That's quitting on the play.
Yeah.
That's not executing. That's having no urgency to your play. But the problem is, it's hard. Like I said, you can't. If I go 7 for 10, and you tell me 6, or 5 of the shots were bad shots, I'm not hearing what you're trying to say as a young man.
I agree.
Coach, I just went 7 for 10. Marcus, 5 of them were bad shots.
I know.
Coach, they weren't. Those are my shots.
I know.
Yes, they were. Okay, sit the bench.
Yeah.
Hey, man, come on. Okay, so first day I yell about, hey, man, Coach Hayden. But eventually, and think about it. We're in February, and this is the first time we've watched a full discipline of a Jordan Nwora. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you remember I was saying early in the game, when he's not, playing with intensity, when he's not doing the things he's supposed to do, you have to substitute him, even if it's just, 60 seconds, You have to coach with the same consistency you demand on your players, or they're not going to reach the consistency. To all those people who said, Coach Pitino, let him play through it, and Coach didn't let him play through it. That's why his teams were ready in February, because they didn't get to just play through all their mistakes a lot of times. So, like I said, it's on tape. Yeah. It works. Let me get a phone line. Chris, thanks for holding on so long, my man. Fire away.
Hey, how we doing today, guys?
Good.
Hey, the realist, I'm going to speak from the realist point first. What happened last night that hasn't been happening all night? We couldn't keep a guard out of the lane. We couldn't. We turned the ball over more than what we needed to, and we didn't finish strong at the basket. All those things have been happening all night, but our shooting has covered it all up, so no one's really worried about it.
I agree.
Then,
yeah, I think that's fair.
And then on top of that, I don't think Jordan's offense was the problem last night, because we've won when he's only shot the ball 5 or 6 times. When he gets beat off the first back door, right there you knew he's not in this game. And then you come down, and I was looking at your Twitter last night, Steve. You said, why did we come out of zone? Because Coach Mike was still coaching. I'm sure when he came out of zone, he didn't say, hey, Dwayne, let the guy beat you with a strong hand. And Jordan, if you have a chance to help, run away from the help. Don't help him at all.
Right.
I mean, everything that we did, because the play before that, Dwayne beat that guy's shot off the backboard. I mean, every time that we had a chance to do something, we got it down to 2. We went into the zone. Dwayne doesn't get the guy flash in the middle. He goes down, makes a layup. I mean, all of our big guys let us down. And then my problem with DJ starting, I'm starting to think that he may have hit the freshman wall. When's the last time we seen him dunk the basketball? I think it was the Duke game. I think his legs have gave out on him a little bit. But with that said, he still needs to play 30 minutes. We probably just need to be done with Perry and let him have Perry's minutes.
No, listen, Chris, I appreciate the call. I disagree with the DJ thing already. It's just once you start getting scouted, they don't let them have open lanes to the basket. And here's the thing:
he still got there.
And if you watch that game, there was free throws every 40 seconds of the game. So if you lost your legs in that game, you just don't got good legs. They walked up and down the court the entire time. Like I said, I mean, I know he does a lot, and I think starting, here's the thing. DJ has been trying to earn minutes. So when he checks into the game previously, he felt like he had to go 100 miles an hour, make something happen.
Right.
Maybe when he starts the game, he can be, involved in the movement of the game a little more than having to do, 1-4 low and make a play every time. So like I said, that's not being sure if he's going to start or not, but
he better.
I think it was unfair. I think it's unfair for DJ to be as good as he is and then just say, okay, what did he play? Like, he was the 3rd lowest minutes last game.
Yeah.
Against Virginia.
17 minutes, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
2nd or 3rd lowest minutes. Yep. And Duke and Georgia Tech, when everybody, is playing crappy, and he's shown a lot more than most of our guards over the last 10-game stretch.
Yeah.
Per minute, he's shown more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think he's earned the right to get through a lot more mistakes.
And again, I mean, I know while you may not, starting does matter. It does psychologically. It does matter to a player. I mean, especially a young player. Now, an older player Ryan McMahon can deal with it. Well, whatever. I come in, get my minutes. Yeah. I want to win. I know what it takes to win. But David, it would matter.
D, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Listen, you give me like 45 real quick seconds, okay?
Take it away.
All right, so you talked about Ethan Moore and the tweet. Look, I saw the tweet and about the broken dry erase board or whatever, and it seemed like after that timeout, the next play was Jordan Moore's best play of the whole game. I saw him post up his man one time, and he didn't get the ball. And look, as far as David Johnson goes, listen, we should have never even had a goaltending issue because he should have took it. I mean, he probably beats himself up about it right now. Mm-hmm. He should have dunked it. and you know he should have dunked it. He knows he should have dunked it, but he tried to do a fancy. Look, he was high enough, but he tried to get a little fancy with the layup, and it's all good. I mean, but any other game, he would have probably dunked it. Look, we lost the game. Look, I listened to 93.9 for two reasons. Marcus Maben for basketball, and I also listened to it because of Luke Hancock for basketball. And Luke Hancock says that Georgia Tech is a damn good basketball team. Okay? And look, you know, the record may not show it, but they're still a good basketball team. And they showed up, and we just didn't. And, you know, look, it's nobody's fault, but, I mean, look, the ball didn't drop through the net. And our defense was lackluster. Look, Jordan Warren, you know, look, he's a face-up offensive player. You know, he sits out there at the three, and, you know, he drives to the basket. But as far as post-up games, he ain't got it right now. And you know what? That's not his game. And I don't expect him to do a post-up game. But I would have really liked to have seen a Gahan last night because everybody was in foul trouble. Hell, I'd have put all three of them in. Enoch and Gahan and Williams. You know, just because. I mean, hell, you're going to lose. Let's just lose. And let's get it going. I mean, the man needs some minutes. And I'm going to keep on saying it. Ain't nobody going to listen, but it's all good. Y'all have a nice day, and I'm going to keep on listening.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. Two ideas kind of came out of your call. Earlier on, like I said, this really frustrates Steve whenever I bring it up. But I wouldn't have played Aiden Gahan because I want to see Aiden Gahan. I would have played him because the energy level of my two bigs early was so down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a David Johnson and Aiden spirit may have helped the team.
Sure.
You know, but like I said, it's easy. It's so easy to say that, you know, but while you're down 6, you know, to say, oh, let's put in Aiden and give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? And in the blink of an eye, you're down 13.
Right.
You know, like it's hard, you know, 7 points can happen really, really quick. So as an outsider, you can say that. But again, Fan definitely argues we've had games where there were opportunities to see, you know what I'm saying, if he could bring more. But here's the thing. I think as a punishment to the big guys, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
I think you just put them in there.
I agree, but I'm actually to the point with Aiden Gahan where, like I told you this morning, I'm like, don't even bring his name up to me anymore. Because I'm, you know, of course, what I mean by that.
There's two guys on that court.
You're not playing him.
There's two guys on that court that would have been hyper motivated to see Aiden. Like, if you stick him in there, like I said, 1 minute and 42 seconds with Sam and David.
Yeah. He's not going to. He's just not going to play him. And that's what I hate. And that's where I'm like Aiden to me is like the FBI talk right now. When you bring it up, I'm like, I don't really want to have this conversation anymore. Like with Aiden, when somebody stops me out, they're like, will he play? I'm like, don't talk to me about Aiden. He's not going to play Aiden. Okay? If Steve and Malik disappear off the planet tomorrow, Jordan will start at center.
Dean, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hi, Marcus. I've just got some questions for you and a comment. A year ago, my wife and I and a friend went down to visit some people in Atlanta, and we went to the Louisville Georgia Tech game last year. Now, granted, DJ wasn't around, Sam wasn't around, and on the other side in that game, Alvarado was hurt. But there were a lot of the same players that were on the court last night that were in the game when we were in Atlanta last year.
Mm-hmm.
We go down there a year ago without the team that we've got now. We've got a much better team this year. And we beat that team to death. I mean, I realize there's a few different faces, but gosh darn, I was at that game with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Georgia Tech has 4 points. Probably 8 to 10 minutes to go in the game. We're up by 40. Wara is making threes right and left. It's just, you know, people were saying, you know, something about the lighting or something. This is a crap you read on the chat board. But, I mean,
my God, we couldn't miss when we were down there a year ago with a lot of the same players. And I just, for the life of me, cannot understand. I mean, there's no way that this Alvarado makes up that many points. I mean, sure, he's going to make them a better team, but my God, the way we beat them like a drum a year ago with a lesser team, that's just frustrating. And you talk about energy. That particular game I watched, good God, we came out, from the opening bell and just beat them to death.
Right.
And I can't understand this year why we're having so many games where we just go through emotions. It's just so frustrating. That's all.
No,
but I just wanted to vent.
Hey, I hear you. I appreciate the call. Here.
And Texter Nickelberry's hurt, but he wouldn't play either. He's just not going to play. I don't know why. He's just not going to play.
Yeah.
I'm not in practice, so I don't know, but he's just not.
Well, what do you do with that?
You just
here's the thing. What do I do when I want I have so much built-in minute excuses for Sam and David.
Mm-hmm.
I have built-in minute excuses for them, right?
Yeah.
I just don't have that built-in minute excuse for Steve, Malik. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jordan, Dwayne, Darius.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you have more than enough opportunity, and I'm just like, okay, I've heard Coach Mack say these things about running on the floor, running off the floor.
Sure.
I've actually heard him say casual, I have to coach against this.
Yep.
I just don't know what to do when I see you yelling at Jordan about casual,
Yeah.
And then I see Jordan casual. I have no choice but to say, you got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
You got to get his attention,
Yeah.
And then I have no choice to arrive at the same thing. Like, man, you lost a lot of minutes by not doing that.
I know.
Earlier on.
And now it's tough. It's tough to do that.
Brian, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
All right, y'all. I'm the unofficial president of Jordan War fan club here for a little while this morning.
Fair enough.
The guy that called in a minute ago had it right. He saw the same game I did. Jordan had a pesky little loudmouth, tough little ball player on him last night that he knows. And, I heard what Coach Mack said. I saw it as soon as it started out. Like, they got this quick little guy. He's going to take the ball out of Jordan's hands, face guard him, whatever. And he did. He kept the ball away from him a lot. And Jordan can't put the ball on the floor against a guy like that. So he's stuck being a in the corner, stand-up shooter. Didn't get the ball. I saw him have the guy post up, had him on his hip down low one time. And he's not a post-up player.
Yeah, no, he got called for offensive foul on that play.
Right, yeah, which was a terrible call. Mm-hmm. But the other time I'm thinking of, too, they didn't even look at it. They didn't give him the ball. Well, at any rate, so everybody knows there's a million stars in the sky, and you're only going to miss the one that's the brightest one. But let's look at just look at what DJ. Everybody wants him to play 40 minutes. He played a little over half the game. He fouled out. He had the same amount of turnovers as Jordan, same amount of assists as Jordan, and he shot right about 40%. And now that 40%, almost every one of them were driving to the basket layup types. And yet everybody wants to blame so much on Jordan, but they want DJ to start and play 40 minutes. It's all perspectives. But I just think you have other issues that went on last night. Everything was bad last night. I'm going to miss Jordan when he's gone. I mean, he's not a lottery pick or anything, but he's a good ball player. He's helped us a lot. And then you have other situations where nobody's talking about a guy that went 1 for 8 last night, throwing up 30-footers. And I think actually 3 of them were air balls. Malik Williams, I loved his game last night, but when you really sit there and you look at it in black and white, and I burned the tape, I'll never see that game again. But I think he pretty much airballed a couple 3-pointers and missed some free throws towards the end of the game. So my point is, I think we should learn to appreciate Jordan. Billy Thompson was the GOAT for years until his senior year.
Mm-hmm.
People used to love and hate LeBradford, and on and on. There was a lot of blame to go around last night. Nobody played real well. I would start Malik simply because he plays tough defense. He does the dirty work, but he doesn't have a great game. I don't know why. Like they said in Revenge of the Titans, what is it? Leadership comes from the top. Well, there wasn't much leadership out there last night. Maybe I wasn't on the bench. Maybe there tried to be. But, you can take, and Coach Pitino used to do this, you can take the star player out of a game if you really want to. That's when the other guys have to pick it up.
That's a fact. That's
right. And they took Jordan out of that game because they took away.
But let me ask you this: Don't you think it had to be really bad for him to wait till this Georgia Tech game to bring him out the game? Let me run along because I have a full load of calls and just I want to answer I want to respond to your comparison between Jordan and DJ. The thing is, if they shot the same, how many times did Jordan go to the line?
Yeah.
Right? He went to the line at least 8 times, 6 to 8 times, right? Jordan did not go to the line. When you say turnovers, he's a point guard versus, a guy who doesn't even dribble the ball much having the same amount of turnovers.
Yeah.
That's bad, right? Like what David brought to the offensive side, is so much more. You know what I'm saying? Then
David, well, not just 16 points, but it was. I mean, he gets to the rim, and you see, and look, last night, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was probably his worst night finishing. I mean,
right.
He usually, he probably left 10, 12 points on the table there,
right.
But I mean, he still makes things happen. Jordan last night, and I'm with it. I am Mr. Jordan World.
Right.
I'm like, dude, yeah, y'all, Jordan's good.
Yeah, the reason I said identify your perspective, so this is not Crush Jordan Day or anything like that.
But I also think my only question with that call would be, I understand the praise Jordan, but the two people you kind of pointed out was Malik and David. Like, without Malik and David,
right?
You could beat by 100.
Right. Like I said, Malik hung in there. He picked up his intensity. Did not have a great shooting game.
I'm not. Nobody was great last night.
Right. But here's the thing: I'll live with point blank David on the right hand side of the goal.
Yeah.
Some days you can miss some, and here's the thing: I know that he missed some of those. I haven't freshmen being in the situation adjusting to athleticism of other teams.
Yeah.
But he's getting them off. It wasn't like his shots were wild.
No.
He lost the ball a couple times. But
he took an open 3 and missed it.
Yeah. His stuff came within the flow of the game.
And he wasn't perfect. Like David, you got to finish.
Matt, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Dude, it's a loss, man. 6-point spread. So somebody seen it coming. I didn't feel great going in, but I didn't feel bad either. Did y'all? I mean, we've been playing good,
Right, yeah.
I don't see it. And, Jordan, look, the hardest 6 inches in sports, I don't care what sport it is, between your ears, man. So when he don't get that shot to fall, he don't do anything else. He's done it maybe one time. I think Mac probably had a conversation with him, and he picked it up there for a couple of games. But it's another sleepy start despite a team 10 points. We've done that, felt like the Boston College game was like, Wake Forest, it's like starting slow. I don't even know if that's a lineup change. Usually Darius is accounted for our first 6 points at almost the last 5-6 games.
But I'm
right out the gate.
I'm wondering about that though, because it's like we don't necessarily start off good on defense. Like even if we get into a shootout early, I can't quite put my finger on are we starting bad or not. But
I know. I feel the same way, dude. It's like I don't know if you put DJ in there if we're gonna start faster, if we're going to get out of the gate faster, because usually it's not even been the case. It's been, Darius comes out, he almost always takes that first shot, and usually sometimes it goes down.
Yeah.
But, dude, we sucked last night as a team. It wasn't even just, Malik had his good spots, and David did too, and he probably, if he didn't foul out, he was going to the rim.
I meant to clear that up too. People like his last 3 fouls were we have to foul to catch back up.
Yeah,
in the
I know
game.
he had to
It wasn't
foul.
like
Like
he
the
was
last
fouling
one-
out.
Yeah, like the last one, you could see he didn't want to, man. He knew when as soon as he done it, he was like, damn. And, but he had to because that's what we had to do. But, man, what we shoot, 34%, 13% from the three or something ridiculous. Dude, it was a bad shooting night. It was a bad loss that probably kept us on the 2 line. Even though if we went out from here, we might have a chance, but that was a bad loss. I would have rather lost to, Florida State or somebody. I don't want to lose, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, dude, it's not all doom and gloom, all right?
No, listen.
They know what they're doing. We got a good team.
Man.
We float right around there, dude, from anywhere from 12 to 5, dude, all year long. We know where we're at, dude. Everybody keep the faith. Try not to get too down, let's go bust Clemson, go Cards.
No, Matt, I appreciate the call. Like I said, I don't think it's a doom and gloom. I think it's a good systems check.
Yes.
It's a good inventory. It's a good audit of your team. You need an audit because you need to know
that's a good word for it.
How much of this is Jordan's been shooting great from the outside.
Yeah.
Ryan's been shooting great. Like, are you willing to say we're going to rely on our good shooting to make a tournament run?
Yeah.
Like if you decide that that's the style you want to play.
Yeah, but you're not going to win like that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know that. You know that.
Yeah.
You nobody's comfortable going in there with that mentality.
Right.
But to me, that was still affected a long time ago when you said, when you continued to just rely on hot shooting instead of making sure. Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying tomorrow you can't, quote unquote, tweak and just say, when we practice tomorrow, Jordan, I don't want you shooting any 3-pointers.
Yeah.
I don't want you shooting any floaters. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Or you got to shoot more.
Right.
Listen, if you're not going to drive, you can't take 6 shots.
Right.
You've got to take 14. Because you are a good shooter.
Or you got to work your pump fake and you got to get
saw
fouled.
It against Kentucky. I mean, look, he looked like crap most of that game, but he's still in overtime. When he hit that 3, you were like, it's game, baby.
Right.
If you're not going to drive, for the love of God, take more than 6 shots.
I mean, like I said, I think Coach has to get him some motion a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody tweeted, just tweeted at us. It was Jeremy Ryan said it bothered him that Coach Mack didn't trust Jordan down the stretch. Coach Mack didn't call anything for Jordan down the stretch.
Does that say more about Coach or Jordan?
I think that's the question. I think that's the question is, because even the announcer was like, you got to get Jordan Ward the ball.
But the announcer says that, right?
Yeah.
And Jordan does exactly what Jordan does. He flared and backpedaled.
Yeah.
And if a 5'11" guard that's assigned to not let him flare and force him to go to the basket, and you let him off the hook by doing that.
Oh no, I agree because I side more with Coach Mack on this one.
Right.
Like where I'm like, how can I get it?
Right.
But it's troubling at my All-American that I can't. That I'm like, man, I ain't calling no play for him right now.
If you run a screen, I run a screen with you and Fresh Kimball. I purposely run a screen with you and Fresh Kimball. You come off this screen and you backpedal. You don't even try to be like when this guy's on you. Here's what happens. It happens to us all the time. There was a play against Virginia, and it probably won't remind nobody will probably
just a clock warning too. It is 10:57. We'll try to clean these lines out here in a second.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll be as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Kieh Clark. Mm-hmm. When you play tight on him, he cuts hard.
Yes.
And if you bump him, he makes a motion. But here's the thing: he doesn't fall all the way to the ground.
Nope.
Jordan and Malik will fall all the way to the ground trying to sell. Ryan does it too. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not used to playing physical, hard-cutting offense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to convince them that if you cut hard, they're gonna foul you. They have to foul you.
They have to. You don't have a choice.
Right. So, but if you jog, they can hold you. They can grab you because you look like you're going at that speed already.
Yeah.
But if you dart hard and then all of a sudden your momentum is slowed down, the referee has, your arm's going to air. The referee has to call it. So yeah. So when this guy's tight on you and you're just jogging backwards looking for the flare and you don't cut to the basket, you're letting everybody off the hook. And again, this is audit. This is not criticism. This is audit on what will make you better. I'm looking for the things that'll make you better immediately. A mentality change, tweaks. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
when Cal told him you don't shoot the ball, you work to get everybody else open.
It was a simple. I mean, we made fun of it and we laughed and we said, all Cal did was tell him not to shoot. That was the big. Yes, that was the tweak. Right. And it took him to the national title.
Right. It's like, hey, Jordan. Yeah. When you don't get the ball on a pass, you dive as hard as humanly possible to the basket.
Yeah.
And listen, if you don't get it, then you decide to go. Then you can go up, float out to the 3-point line. Then you can do something. But you catch like everybody's attention will go to you. Dive into the basket, cutting hard. That's how you make yourself valuable on a team. Commentators will see that. Watch how Jordan Nwora dives, and watch how all the opponent's attention go to Jordan Nwora. That's how you know he's an All-American.
Yeah.
That's how the game is played and told.
Agreed.
Who we got over here? Mike, we got to make it quick, man. Thanks for joining us on 939.
Okay, I just want to say basketball is all about attitude and effort. And their attitude and effort was both an F yesterday. To me, it was terrible. They should have took the whole starting five out of the game, brought a new starting five in it, and just totally ripped their butt for not playing with attitude and effort. Jordan, please, son, shoot 45 shots. I don't care. Just keep shooting. And look, Coach Crum always used to say, I'll let you shoot 10 shots your way, and I'll let you shoot 10 shots my way. If Jordan just goes straight up and down, the son, he makes about 65% of his shots. When he does that fadeaway backwards, he misses. I'm out, brother.
No, there was a lot of that. Ryan McMahon did a lot too. You'll see in the video breakdown when he had a chance to just go straight up and down. He was fading away and it was costing him or leaning forward. Jerry, last one for the hour. Fire away.
Hey guys, thanks for the call. Two quick questions. One is the guys that aren't playing, like Nickelberry and Aiden, will they be eligible for a red shirt at the end of the year? And my next question is, how come we don't ever pass out of the post? It seems like we'd be a better offense if our big guys would pass the ball back to the guards or the wings when they get collapsed on down low. Anyway, if you could just kind of explain that to me, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
I appreciate the call. Two reasons. We're not a very good passer, and you'll take your chances with those guys in the paint. You'd like to get them in better position, closer to the basket, so they don't have to make those decisions. And two, guys are not leaving the shooters. When Steven or Malik have the ball, I mean, they bluff at the double team, but they don't actually go to the double team because chances are you're guarding a guy that can shoot. So you don't really get to you don't need to throw it out of the paint.
Right.
That's a very, very spirited hour. We got to let my man Brian Hall pay some bills. This will be a quick commercial break, people. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Bill. This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, we are thankful for our advertising partners. We try to share our thankfulness over the microphone. I don't know if the airwaves quite pick up how thankful we are. One in particular, especially in days like this, DFH Company. If it had not been for DFH Company, Steve and myself would have overheated. We would have passed out. We would not have been able to get through this entire first hour and get ready for the second hour. So people, help them help you. 968-6222. Or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Again, your temperature, hard to heat, hard to cool, DFH Company is...
Also, I'm sorry, caller Nate's in here and his wife made another cake, and I just ate like a massive piece of it. Which, by the way, let me update you. I'm not going to diet till the season's over. It's impossible. I can't. And actually, I'm disgusting myself. Well, look, I'm working out every day.
So you're done with the soda?
Look, I'm working out. I'm working out every day. All this stuff's great, but like I just can't stop eating.
At what point did you realize that I don't care this season?
Just during the season, because it's just probably when. Like yesterday, I was eating, and then and I'm like, all right, I got to watch, and then Phil Baker's like, oh, yeah, Friday, we got Baranos coming. I'm like, I'm not eating the Baranos. Okay, today, by the way, let me get this real quick. Thanks to Adam and his staff for dropping off Wing Zone catering to the studios. Try the ESPN special. It's just 10 boneless wings, wedges, and a drink for $9.39. Good 7 days a week. Wing Zone just launched Nashville Hot Barbecue. It's Nashville Hot with the kick of Southern barbecue. Order online at wingzone.com or go to Hess Lane near U of L or Heights Point. And here's the problem. Like, I'm going to eat that. And you know what happens today? My wife's off. When we get home, we're going out today. We got some things to do. You know what I'm going to do there? I'm going to eat. So why torture myself? Just eat. Just eat.
Tim, thanks for holding on through the break, my man. What's on your mind?
Thanks for taking my call, Marcus. And I would also like to compliment you on your opinion of the game. I look up to it. It's really good, Marcus.
I appreciate that.
But on David Johnson, he has only had 3 fouls prior to last night's game. Some people were talking about he'll foul out. He's not had foul trouble, and you brought it up. He made those fouls because of the situation. But the other thing, the only way we're going to win a championship, and I feel like we're going to get it done because things are taking place, is with David Johnson. And, hey, we're going to be okay, and Jordan's going to have to abide by the coach.
No, Tim, I appreciate the call. That's a fact. Listen, pointing out flaws is how you help the situation. Pointing out the things you need to work on, that's okay. Now, unfair, negative prognostication is what's not fair. Like I said, pointing out, I don't like to use words like effort or lazy, or not come to play. Like I know that there's a difference between playing bad and not, or not knowing how to affect the game. Here's the thing. Imagine telling somebody, just run fast at everything you do.
Yeah.
It's hard to just run fast in everything you do because you're reading the game. Like, if just running around, you're going to end up in somebody else's area. Like, spacing is a big time part of basketball. So it's, you can't just say run around the place. Everybody needs to be cutting hard. It's not just Jordan. But when the plays are isolated for you to make a move, those are the plays you have to cut through, physically. Like I said, that's not a criticism. That's again, inventory, auditing, growth. Todd, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
It's good to talk to y'all today, guys.
Definitely, man.
All right. Well, first of all, last night I want to bring up a couple of things that I noticed. First of all, when we went into the 2-3 zone, we got turnovers, and we were able to stop Alvarado, his penetration to the middle. Now, my question was with Coach Mack, why did you, coming out of the timeout, you go back to the man-to-man when the 2-3 was seemingly having, a good effect on the penetration going in toward the basket? The second thing is with DJ, he missed a couple layups and all like that. But when you have somebody that's penetrating down there to the end, why in the world would you go ahead and put, of course, when you got a 6'5" guard that has a 7'2" wingspan, you're able to cover a lot more defensively. But, I don't understand why he would keep on going back to Fresh when Fresh is a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's just shorter, and the bigger guard was the one that seemingly, was stopping, more of the penetration and was guarding more space. Now, I'll hang up and let y'all talk about it.
Appreciate the call. Listen, DJ, yes, like I said, he missed a couple. I'll say this. Out of the zone, this is what happens. You had a couple of effective possessions in the zone, right? And there's a game called I Know That You Know That I Know That You Know. Mm-hmm. There's no way to be right or wrong on that one. You can just be lucky, right? Because what coaches do is during that timeout, they come up with an alley-oop play for that zone, right? Mm-hmm. So you can come out and they can take a shot at running this alley-oop play against that zone, or that they're gonna come out with a specialty play against the zone that's either gonna get them a wide open 3-pointer or a dunk. So before you give them the opportunity to do that, you change to man. And I got to be honest. I always talked about the difference between Coach Crum and Coach Pitino's like discipline styles. Coach Pitino's intense screamer. But here's the thing: I could see a Coach Crum disciplining of Dwayne Sutton out of that timeout. Like, I went to a man-to-man. We left this zone and went to a man-to-man. And Dwayne, you're my toughest competitor. And you let that guy go left, strike one.
Yeah.
Get all the way to the basket, strike two. And one, strike three. I needed my fifth year senior, Dwayne Sutton, to stop that guy on that play.
Yeah.
On the road at Georgia Tech, I don't think that's an unfair request.
I agree.
Dwayne Sutton, you're guarding that guy.
Yeah.
You got to stop him.
Yeah, it's like I'm asking you to do is not let him go around you and get an and one. I mean, but now on that play too, Jordan's got to slide over and help too. Listen, even Ryan is supposed to come over and show the guy, but again, you're in a position late game, a three just kills you. A 3-point play just kills you. And you put Ryan in a position, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, Dwayne kind of turned around and he was mad that he didn't get the proper help, but it's one of those things like our number one principle rule. And here's the thing, Coach Mack is not the type of guy to give you a crutch. Like, here's the thing, I was going to ask you this question. To me, the calmness in Coach Mack early in the game, I was going to ask you this question. Does it remind you of some of those games that Coach Pitino saw you didn't come to play and he sat on that sideline and talked to Willard and them and just like, look at them. Look, and all of a sudden you have something to play for and you just get wasted, right? He just said because Coach Pitino did that.
Yeah,
where you were like he not trying to lose, but he's not going to coach.
He's not going to save you. Yeah, I'm not going to save you out of this.
Y'all win, you win. It's up to y'all.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. Coach Mack takes pride into leaving games in the hands of players. You know?
Yeah.
The fan has to become more comfortable with that. With that. They have to be comfortable with him saying, listen, if you ask Coach Mack what happened on that zone, he would give you the 100% answer that I just gave you.
Yeah.
He would say, we came out of that zone because I figured they would be drawing up a specialty play. Yeah. I put Dwayne, who's one of my best defenders, on their score. He drove around. He drove around Dwayne and got an and one. That was the backbreaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would look you right in the face and say, I thought I had the advantage there.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't.
I don't disagree with that.
The reason I brought up the coaching style is because the coach brings over and he says, yeah, I'm really disappointed that you couldn't make that stop, Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah, I put you one-on-one with him. I just said, look, can you, because everything's rolling our way right now.
Ulysses, thanks for joining us today on 93.9. Fire back.
Marcus, to the gentleman that called your pregame show last night and said that Georgia Tech ain't a squad.
You mean Tony?
Did he call in today?
It is right now 11:20 in the a.m., and I have not heard anything from him.
Dude, I'm sitting there and I'm listening and I'm saying, dude, you made the biggest mistake in making that comment you ever could possibly make. You were dead on right about that. The other thing, Marcus, I noticed last night, and you just addressed another question. It wasn't a question, but I noticed the same thing that you just brought up just a moment ago. The 2-3 zone was working, yeah. But, man, I was scared to death of that back line was exposed, and I thought that they would run a lot. That's the one thing you got to worry about on a 2-3 zone is being susceptible to them throwing a lob, you know. So that's the other thing. And finally, Steve, could you describe? I know I'm getting off the subject here, but could you describe Scruggs' game? What you know about his game? What kind of a baller he is? And that's all I got.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, no. Before you go any further, Steve, did you hear caller Tony last night?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, caller Tony accused me of pushing agendas about how these teams are better than these teams that don't have a chance to beat us.
Yeah.
Are just sucky and we're going to just blow them out and all that. I mean, he was passionate about accusing me of pushing an agenda that a team is capable of beating Louisville.
Well, then he was wrong.
Why hasn't he called?
People don't. That's the world we live in, man. You say whatever you want.
I don't like that though.
You say whatever you want, and then you don't have to answer.
And then you hide.
People do it on radio. People do it on radio. You just say whatever you want, and then when something else happens, and then it's like, oh yeah, well I was wrong.
Yeah,
but now let's swallow.
I've never seen. Listen, think about this. In 10 games, I haven't seen this much Louisville traffic. You beat Duke. I didn't see this much Louisville traffic on Twitter.
No.
Beat Duke in Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no.
Oh, yeah.
Other than Louisville fans, a couple memes here, a couple memes there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, last night, boy, they came out the woodworks. I'm like,
all up into the night. I mean, as far as Jay Scrubb goes, I mean, Jay Scrubb, the way he's going to play, I mean, is okay. The best way I could put it is Jay Scrubb will be a little more like a guard Trez. Now, what I mean by that is mentality. Mentality. Trez didn't care. Like when Trez got to about midcourt, he was like, okay, I'm going to go dunk this basketball. And that's a mentality. Jay Scrubb's like that. David will throw oops to Jay Scrubb in traffic next year, and you'll see Jay Scrubb come out of nowhere, and he'll catch it. Because he doesn't care.
Yeah, he likes to dunk.
Yeah, he doesn't care. But yeah, no, most of all, what I think Jay Scrubb's going to bring to the team is he's here to win and go to the league. Like, Jay Scrubb is here.
And he wants to make people look bad while he's doing it.
He's a good dude. I'm not saying this, but hear me out. Jay Scrubb is here to win and go to the league. He's not here to get a degree. I know it sounds bad. He's not here for all that. He's here to win games and get to the NBA. I'm interested to see what having that guy on the team does for the team. When you have guys on the team, it's like dude. Look, I'm not here to.
That will
around.
make it uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm not here. I'm not here to play patty cake in the locker room, bro. I'm here to win and go league. David's my dude. I don't know you. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
roll with me.
Yeah.
Or get rolled over.
Yeah. I'm here to start. I'm here to win. I'm here to go to the NBA. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that's going to be a nice, because Coach Mack had a lot of dudes that liked to at Xavier with his best teams that were no nonsense guys.
Yeah. I'm already irritated that I had to come to Xavier.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
Like guys that carry the irritation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with him.
Ryan, let me hit record.
What you got?
What do you have, man? It's grading time.
We want to do grades.
It's
I got
grading
you. Let me pull it
time.
up here real quick. I was talking with our caller Nate, man. He's enjoying seeing how live shows run.
Good deal.
Tell
man.
a friend to tell a friend. It is grading time. Grading time. Do I need to take this call or not? They don't get it. Okay. Grading time.
Sorry, caller. I'm pulling it up.
This is gonna be fun.
All right, so we always start with the guy who played the least amount of minutes, which yesterday was surprisingly Stephen Enoch, who played 14 minutes. He was 2 of 4 shooting, did not attempt a 3. He had 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist.
I can say this. I didn't hear him. When I don't hear you, when I don't hear your voice, Stephen in particular, you're not screaming Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot do better than a D.
Yeah.
Like I say, energy wise, like here's the thing. And we broke it down to a play where he got blocked, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were looking at that replay. And on that replay where he got fouled, I'm sorry. They came down on his arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the replay of Stephen Enoch, he didn't jump with authority. Right. Like he jumped like he knew he was getting blocked. If you could go CGI and delete the defender from the video, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was never high enough to even dunk the ball.
Right.
He wasn't close enough to reach it. He has arms up in the air like he was gonna dunk it, right? But height wise, he wasn't there to dunk it. Like he just knew the contact was coming and just was waiting to get it.
Yeah.
So that play, like his performance, being that he had the low amount of minutes, his performance really just, kind of, that was a microcosm of his, of the energy. Listen, when I said it during the pregame, I said, this is a game where I thought we were going to see a lot of zone. And I said, when those shots go up, you're going to just have to outwork somebody on the offensive rebound. You're going to have to, when the shot goes up, you're going to have to, spin, move, get position, and jump. Rebounding on the offensive end is hard work. You don't just get the rebounds that come to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was hoping he would be the Steven who goes and seeks, who goes and finds some rebounds. He was not. I think that was the reason for the low minutes. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I D. 100%, man. Yeah, right. Texter Steve had the only dunk for us, and he barely got that over the rim. Did you watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Steve was a D. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. I mean, you.
Yeah, he was even hesitant on that.
Yeah. Like you have to be. He has to be better than that.
Agreed.
Next up, we got Darius Perry. He played 15 minutes on 0 of 1 shooting, 1 point, 0 rebounds, 1 assist.
I swear, I'm about to give him an F because it's just Darius was not even. Darius was not the only thing you noticed Darius doing was something stupid, like with the basketball.
When he
not decision wise,
Yeah.
but just something with the
You just dribbled it right off your leg.
dribbling it off your leg over in the corner, doing so. I'm like, I'm gonna give Darius an F for last night because it was terrible. He didn't do anything. I mean, you did nothing. You literally got 1 assist, so you accounted for possibly 2 points.
There's a loophole that when I went to college, this loophole might have saved my GPA, right?
Yeah.
This loophole is called it's called an incomplete, right?
Yeah.
This loophole means this class is too hard for you. You've been in this class for a couple of weeks. There is no way that you're going to receive a passing grade in this class.
It's a drop ad.
I am going to incomplete drop add Darius Perry out of this game.
Fair
Darius Perry, when he took the ball to the basket and never think about this. We're in transition. He gets it to the dotted line. Doesn't even look up at the rim. Dribbles right out to the 3-point line with his back turned to the basket and dribbles the ball off his feet.
Yeah.
Off of that play and the fouls, it was like you're not even here. Like this is incomplete. Like you're not with us today.
Yeah.
And it looked it, and I think Coach Mack saw it early. Maybe it's the Georgia. Like I said, and I said it in the pregame. I said Darius is the biggest emotional guy on the team. I said I'm worried that him being in Georgia, quite possibly for the last time, because next year will probably be one game against Georgia Tech, and it'll probably be here. So this might be your last chance to go home to Georgia, and I think him juggling those emotions are just tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't know. This is not coming from personal experience. So just like you didn't show up. It's a
He
drop.
might be playing for Georgia State next year.
Oh.
Don't say stuff like that.
Next up, we got Ryan McMahon. He played 20 minutes on 1 of 8 shooting. All of those 8 attempts were from 3. He had 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
I'll be honest. I'll give him a D+ for 2 reasons. He didn't stop taking open shots, even though he wasn't hitting them.
Yep.
I like that. And he actually gave pretty strong effort on defense last night. I remember watching a couple times and going, man, Ryan is truthfully like, everybody else getting beat. I'm not going to try. I'm trying my hardest not to get beat here. That's the only reason I'm tagging a plus onto his D.
To me, he gets the D because he hits. Okay, this is what happens. And here's the thing too. I'll actually. This is going to be a problem of mine moving forward. This is a Marcus issue, right?
Yeah.
This is the relationship between the coach and the player that I don't recognize. This is Marcus, an old school thinker who has not yet adjusted to something. And what that something is Ryan hits the 3-pointer, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple minutes later, he ends up with another 3-point shot on the angle wide open by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people, when I say wide open at the angle, I'm talking about wide open. Ryan shoots this ball, and he's running the other way.
Yeah.
When the shot's on his way up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
We're losing. Like, think about that. If that had been, just some other guy shooting and running away like that, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, are you showboating? Down 3, down 4,
I know.
Down 2.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you don't know that this is a shot that? And again, when I say wide open, people, I do mean wide open.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, it was great.
Like
look.
nobody's challenging it.
Yeah.
He had no reason to shoot that ball and start running the other way.
Right.
Like I know my stuff is good.
I don't mind the shot.
Right.
Yeah, I want him to shoot. I don't mind that he shot 8 times.
It's the extraness.
Yeah.
It's the extraness on that shot. And again, I said I think Darius Perry misses 3-pointers because they all like to do shots, that Instagram shots.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got the problem on this one because that's the one when I say, Coach, you gotta stop letting them do that because it leads to inconsistent shooting. You know what I'm saying? This is not the league. You're not Steph. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to shoot it and be doing the 3 to the domes while the ball is still in the air.
Yeah.
It leads to inconsistency.
Yeah.
Not setting your feet, not going vertical, not keeping your fundamentals intact. Again, coach will probably tell me, Marcus, if you keep picking with them about their shot, they're not going to be as confident, right?
Right.
And I say, okay. That's your mentality.
Sure, yeah.
I don't agree with it.
Right.
But they've been shooting the hell out of the ball.
Yeah.
So you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But these are the games where I say, if he concentrates on 2 feet, flat, vertical, I think he hits that shot.
Fair enough.
Be all.
Next up, we got Fresh Kimball. He played 22 minutes on 0 of 5 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3 with 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
D-.
Yeah, he's in D-.
D-. Your fifth-year point guard.
Yeah.
I watched you not be able to get in the lane. I watched you not be able to pick them apart with the pass at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I watched you be completely ineffective.
You said it right earlier. I was just disappointed in Fresh. Because I'm like, man, I mean, the only reason I'm not giving Fresh an F is because he had some production.
Yeah, 2 points, 2 assists.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when I look down and I see, okay, he had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists in 22 minutes, you know, but like, come on, man. Like that's bad. That's just bad. Yeah. So I'm with you. I'm on D- for him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just bad.
Next up, we got Samuel Williamson. He played 23 minutes on 1 of 2 shooting. The one that he did make was a 3-pointer. He had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist.
Interesting enough, I will go. There's 3 people around this category, but I will go C- for Sam. I liked Sam. I liked Sam's energy. I liked the way Sam comes to play. He had a couple plays where I screamed at the TV, like one where David cut and Sam was in the corner wide and he kind of cut. But even then, I was like, I like that you're trying to come.
I think we talked about that. Malik didn't know Sam was coming.
Yeah.
Malik brought his man in the way. Malik accidentally brought traffic.
Okay. So
yeah,
we hadn't talked about that.
Oh,
but
I thought we did.
No, but that makes
the play was it was going to be there.
Okay.
Listen,
so we're on the same page.
Yeah, the
with that.
defender started staring at David.
Yeah.
Sam knew the cut, but listen, David Johnson got this turnover because Malik brought his man over there at the last second.
Yeah.
It was a high, hard pass to Sam. And you know what Sam did? Sam got his hand on it. And you know what he did after he got his hand on it? He grabbed his own shirt and said, my bad. That was a hard, heavy pass.
Play,
yeah,
man.
But coming out of that, and David and Sam knew, no, that was the right play.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, I made the right pass. You know, the execution wasn't on point because, like I said, something just bad luck happened with Malik. Malik's almost trying to get out of his way.
Yeah, it was tough. And here's the thing, Sam.
I guess Sam would B-.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Listen, when that 3 comes, it's a big shot. You need that shot. He steps into the 3-pointer bucket. He's around. Listen, listen. Those offensive rebounds, like he was in there. He was getting hands on it. He was making the right moves to be a role player on the coach.
I'm not going to go B-, but I'll go C+. But because here's the other thing too. You say mistakes of omission and commission all the time. Even his travel, and I hope that this is a learning lesson for Sam, because if I'm coach, I'm taking Sam in there and I'm saying, okay, Sam, let's watch this play. Sam's coming down the left end. I think Jordan's coming. Somebody else is coming. Sam kind of, you could tell he's
almost
like,
a Euro.
I should pass, but I don't know. I kind of think I can Euro, and he gets caught in between. I'm taking Sam in the film room and I'm saying, Sam, seriously, no shade. What were you thinking here? Well, I was thinking. I bet Sam's answer would be, I was thinking I could get to the bucket and score. Yeah. So do it.
Right.
You don't have to throw it to them. There's nothing says you have. When I got Sam Williamson leading the break, I've watched you lead breaks. At that point, I'm screaming at the TV as he's got the ball. I'm like, take him.
Yep. I would just say, and here's the thing. We'll practice your moves. We'll practice your body position. You're going to have to get lower. Get your shoulder lower. Get your butt and body lower. You know what I'm saying?
Not only do I love what Sam did, now's a good time to say this because I'll blend the two conversations. I think now's the time also to start Sam.
Over who?
Over Darius. I like David and Sam in that lineup to start from here on out.
I know what you're saying.
I don't know if he will. I'm not saying he will, but I'm saying I think now is a great time to go ahead and you just say, look, we're over who starts. At the end of the day, right now, David Johnson.
I need competitors.
Yeah, David Johnson, Sam Williamson, Dwayne Sutton, Jordan Wara, and Malik Williams. That's my starting 5. And I'm sorry.
I still might stick with
That's
Steve.
been my starting 5 from the get-go. I wanted them to get to.
I still might stick with Steve.
No, I mean, and that's fine. You could argue that, but I'm just like, to me, I'm like, look, that's my 5 competitors right now. And Jordan, even with Jordan, he still is one of the best players, so I can't not play him.
Next up, we got Jordan Nwora. He played 24 minutes on 1 of 6 shooting, 0 of 4 from 3, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
F. Gets an F. As an All-American, that was pathetic. That was just pathetic. Like, you're not, and I love Jordan, and I love Pops War and everybody.
Let me ask you this. Does he know how to affect the game outside of
I don't think so.
The rebound and the three-pointer?
I don't think so. I don't.
So why so harsh? If you know he doesn't know any better, why so harsh?
Because you're not even affecting it there. You got 3 rebounds last night. You shot the ball 6 times. You're not even affecting. That's why I said earlier, heck, I'll give Ryan McMahon at least he kept shooting. Like, Ryan was like, look, I'm open and I can knock these down. Like, I know I can hit these. I'm off. So I saw a text earlier that said he shot 4 air balls or something. But he's like, I know. When I shoot 4 air balls, I know. What's not right? Something's not right with me right now. Like I don't shoot this bad. And kudos to him for keep shooting. Like, my problem is Jordan just didn't affect it even in those ways. Like, if Jordan had 8 rebounds and stuff, then you're like, well, he's still doing his thing. He's just not good. I mean, you can't blame. That would be like blaming Malik Williams for not having more assists. Well, this is not what he does. You know, like
him falling, man, is him. Okay, if I were gonna try to find some positives, they get erased by his lack of lower body strength.
Yeah,
because that's where the toughness comes into play.
Coincidentally, you're right, Texter. Jordan probably did have 2 of his best assists he's had all year last night.
The one to Ryan,
and the one to David. I agree with that. F+.
Real quick, too, a caller called into the Diener show when I was coming in, and they were talking about this same topic, Jordan Nwora, and he actually made a good point that I hadn't really thought about, but it was, Jordan Nwora came back this year to improve his draft stock and move up into the lottery, and obviously probably to win a national championship, but I think what we're finding out is that Jordan Nwora doesn't really have that hungry, like, go-getter, go-to guy type of mindset. He's more of, when he gets to the NBA, he's going to be a specialty guy. He's going to be a three-point specialist. He's going to be on a team with a star he's just going to be able to spot up and they're going to kick it to him. And that's kind of the style that he is. He's not necessarily that guy that takes over a game, puts the team on his back and carries them. He's more of I'm a three-point specialty guy.
See, and I disagree. I disagree. Here's the thing. I'll phrase what I think he is different. He's a scorer, right? But he doesn't know how to score around the game. Like, he doesn't know how to adjust to the defense is really good, right? But he does have the killer mentality to take the shot a lot of times, a lot of games. But when he gets stuck and when he gets confused, he just doesn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Motion offenses and good habits are what he needs.
Yeah.
Good habits off the ball. He doesn't have good habits off the ball.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that costs him. It costs him in the kind of the IQ department. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I still think a lot of teams can look at him and say, we can teach him to be a lot more effective. You know what I'm saying? But if he gets labeled as a guy who doesn't like contact, he's going to be in big trouble.
Yeah. But here's where he did hurt himself. He came back to become a lottery pick, and he's going to fall into the same spot that he probably could have got drafted last year.
I'm listening.
Yeah, my problem is, though, with Jordan, though, is I think Jordan's skill set, I think Jordan could play college. You probably don't get any of these, but I think Jordan's draft stock isn't what he should be worried about, because I think Jordan could play college for 50 years, and he's going to go somewhere from 21.
Whoever likes him, whoever loves him, loves him. Yeah. Whoever likes him, likes him.
Texter, that's actually a good point. Texter said he's Danny Green. I not totally, but I get what you're saying there. That's the point, though. Jordan just needs to get on a team and then
show what he can do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's Danny Green is a great example.
That's a great
of who
example.
I think he is.
Yeah,
except Danny Green's good at defense.
Right, but Jordan's never.
He had to learn.
I disagree with anybody that ever, and I said this last year. You can find it. I don't think Jordan's ever had a shot at being a lottery pick. I just don't think the lottery was even in the conversation for him. I think he is.
To me, he would have had he gotten better with his ball handling.
Well, yeah, sure.
I thought coming into the year he was going to be more into his ball handling.
Now that doesn't mean I don't think Jordan can't have a great career,
right?
Because I think Jordan can have a great NBA
career, but it'll be as a specialty guy.
But I think he's going to have to be a back end.
He's not going to be a star. He's going to be a rotational player.
The transition play by himself when he dribbles that ball right in front of Alvarado.
Yeah.
There was another game that he just dribbled. Like, remember the two guys right in the middle, and he just dribbled, and it was like two guys. And I could see the guys hesitate. Like, they couldn't believe he was still dribbling the ball.
Even Miami, when likes come up and he just shoves likes, it's like, do you not know you can't do that?
Right.
You can't just stick your arm out and push.
Yeah. I think his lack of ball handling ability is probably his biggest liability.
I agree.
Even more than, because like I said, I still think he's tough. Like,
I do too.
He's not a soft guy. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
It's more of, like I said, the skill set and knowing the know-how.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with that 100%.
Versus like, no, he's not. He's not a soft person.
But he still gets an F last night.
D-.
F, total F, just F.
No, I say
F.
D- because
just F'ing him.
Yeah, like he just didn't. Like I said, he did. I think another game though, he would have added more mistakes to the game.
Fair enough. I'm just pissed because I stuck my neck all the way out last week. Out here scoring 2 points.
Next up, we got three guys left. Also playing 24 minutes, the same as Jordan Nwora, was David Johnson. He went 6 of 13, 0 of 1 from 3, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
I'm going B- for effect because I need the word minus on there only because I think you left 6 of 13, most of them at the rim. I think you left a few on the rim. I do agree with Marcus Maben. I think David is one that will be able to go back to the film room and go, you see, and David up to this point, I think will go, yeah, you're right. And I think that will be changed from here on out.
We would be sitting different right now if David Johnson didn't get that last foul and he was the guy going to the lane.
I think so because he went to the basket 3 straight times and scored.
Almost at that point, I would have let the guy go past me and let the next guy foul.
Listen to this, Brian. For a second, my TV, I was yelling and stuff, and my wife's in there, and we're watching the game, and we're talking back and forth, and God bless her heart, she just listens to me, and Marcus listened to me last night, and I'm sorry, I probably said some more choice words than I should have, but just when I get really, really angry, and she catches all this, I look up, and I'm like, Charity?
You're down 1
No. I said, Charity? I turned around, and I said, for the love of God, tell me David Johnson's not on the bench. Because I was unaware that he fouled out. There was a feeling that came over me that I was like, I looked her and and the way she looked at me was like terrified. I was like, I almost was laughing. I was like, for the love of God, you tell me he's not on that bench right now. Because I thought Mac pulled him out. I was ready to call the post game. Fire him right now. Fire him right now. If he took David Johnson, but of course David Johnson had fouled out. But I agree with you, Brian. I thought David was smart down. I literally at one point, David's coming down the court. There's 15, 16 seconds left. We're down 3. The announcer's like, you don't need 3. And I'm like, oh, but we'll shoot one. Not David. David goes right around him, gets to the bucket.
And one.
Yeah.
Almost. Should have been an N1.
It should have been an N1.
He had the N1 before.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I'll say this about David Johnson, and he's a B+ to me.
That's fair. Yeah.
He's a B+. And here's the thing. Y'all didn't do him any favors. Here, Steve, if I go back and look at the video of myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Fresh is standing over there on one side.
Oh, yeah, just standing.
And Jordan's standing over there on one side.
Yep.
And Malik is standing over there on one, right there on that other block.
Yeah.
And everybody's basically staring at me.
Just watching you.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the defenders.
Yeah.
The offensive people were watching Jordan, and they were close. Like, it wasn't like it was a whole bunch of space because Jordan had them, they were all in the paint. They didn't do him any favors. Y'all weren't exchanging over here on the left. Y'all weren't doing anything. So here's the thing. Y'all are all out here, right?
Yeah.
I get to the basket, and 2 people try to jump with me.
Yeah.
And I lay it up, and it misses off the backboard and tips right in the front of the rim. And listen, when that ball tips off, and I look back over my shoulder, if Malik isn't getting that rebound, or if whoever was out there at the three-point line is not crashing in to get this follow-up, when I go back and look at this tape and see my layup barely miss the rim, and everybody on my team is standing out there waiting for me to draw all the team and hit them.
I know.
Like we're gonna go back and look at this, and it's like, dude.
Did you ever go back and watch that last play of Michigan State, Illinois, where Cassius Winston flies to the bucket? He knows he has no shot.
Right.
He gets in there, he throws it up off the backboard, and it wasn't a pass.
Right.
He was just putting it up there for somebody. Xavier Tillman comes flying down the lane, catches it, hammers it.
Any player,
Easy.
Any player knows if this big man comes and helps and jumps with me, just get it up there.
Yeah.
Nate, Tony, Dion, Tobias, somebody's catching this thing.
I know, man.
Just get it up on the glass. And he got it up on the glass. Or he scored it. One time he dribbles, nobody's moving. Dude, Alvarado is an OG.
Absolutely.
David Johnson
plays like it. Yeah.
Puts him in the post. Puts this senior guard on the post and just bang, 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 turns over right shoulder off the backboard bucket. Give me the ball. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's why I say him doing that, it's not a conversation. Like, don't compare his stats.
Thing is, though, to your point, he did it again. He got Alvarado over there. Boom, boom. There was a little bit of help. He missed the shot. They get the rebound. So I mean, because he went right back to that.
Yep.
It's like, man, I can work this dude. Down here. Yeah, and David loves that
He's
spot.
the only guy that can get to the basket like that, though, which is fascinating to me because I just think guards, by default, Division I guards should be able to get to the basket.
I'm going to give David Johnson a B+ too. I'm going to give David Johnson a B+. Yeah. You're right. I was trying to do it for effect because he did miss in the lane, but then when you say it like that, and you're like, he did draw a ton of it. He didn't miss many at the lane that weren't contested.
Right.
Majorly. Now, do I want him to finish them? Yes. And I think he will? Yes. But
again, like, what do we have? What do we have the big man for? What do we have athletes on your Division I teams got to catch the basketball off the rim and dunk it?
Yeah.
Every Division I team has people that can do that. The David Padgett, you know what I'm saying? Like Ray's they're catching these are athletes. Steven is athletic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should be doing the work while the ball is getting ready to go up on the board. You should be low. You should be fighting. You should be ready to explode reading that, David's going to the basket.
Yeah.
Your butt low, hands up, eyeballs on him. When it goes up, it shouldn't even be coming below the rim because you should already be off your feet, knowing where this ball is going to land. David did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, B+.
We got two guys left. We got Malik Williams, 28 minutes on 5 of 11 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 0 assists.
You want to take this one?
Yeah, 16 and 8. I'm going to give him a C+++, because he dug himself out of his lethargic play.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
Coach Mack says guys are missing shots and they start feeling sorry for himself. Malik was the guy who had the bad start and didn't let the bad start keep him to the bad finish.
Yeah.
He gets, like I said, C++, because that bad start put us in a bad situation, in my opinion. Had he not had that, just like I said, and it was lethargic, it energized the other team. I mean, he did draw some fouls, like I said, but just overall, C++.
Yeah, I'm going to B-. That was another reason why I raised David, because I knew I was going to put Malik in the B range. So, but I didn't think. I thought David deserved to be the highest. But yeah, I'll go B- for it. And what you said, that definitely sold me on the B. Digging yourself out of a bad start, because he did start rough.
Yeah, they were blocking his shot. He wasn't getting the foul calls. Listen, his hands were bad. Like he had 2 hands on the basketball multiple times, and before you know it, he's falling on the ground. And like he was the reason I said you gotta sit both of them down and try to interject Aiden.
Well, yeah,
and see if Aiden brightens up everybody else a little bit.
And he did something that made me gain a lot of respect for him. Do you remember when he hit the three? Okay, he hits the three, and Malik, when you're playing down low, and it's like being an O lineman. Like O lineman, you think, oh man, they don't even run as much, but you wake up the next morning, you feel like death. You know what I'm saying? Tight end, O lineman, you're like, I'm dead. I think that Malik hits that three, and the way he walked for a second, you remember? Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was a walk. I was like, that's a warrior.
Let's go.
Because he's dead. Like when he was,
stiff leg.
You could see he was just like, but that walk he gave was give me 3 steps. Let's go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like let me recalibrate for a second. All right, now I'm like, I love that out of Malik Williams. I love Malik Williams, and I'm starting him from here on out. So B-. I love Malik.
Cool. Last player we got, Dwayne Sutton, 30 minutes on 3 of 6 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3 with 9 points and 10 rebounds.
It's an odd one for me because he was productive. I'm going to go C for Dwayne Sutton. And not just the one play. I think he had a few letdowns on defense. Yeah. But he's still he's still productive. He's still productive. I'm not crushing Dwayne.
I'm going from B+. Listen, I put him on the board at B+.
Okay.
But we're taking him down to a regular B.
Okay.
And
that's fair.
And here's the thing. This is the next stage of Dwayne. I know you are who you are, but you don't have to be.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is Dwayne Sutton is a leader by example. You don't have to be stuck in the leader by example world.
Yeah.
Coach Mack preaches communication. Most teams that are good talk about the way people communicate. Coach Mack says every once in a while, Dwayne Sutton or talk to somebody.
Right.
Last night should have been a game that you talked to your teammates, that you grabbed your teammates, that you brought the huddle. Because here's the thing. When you do it for that game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a perfect game that, it's not the biggest game, but it's a game we need to win. And you brought the energy and effort. But here's the thing. The vocal guys weren't having a good game, so they couldn't be vocal.
Yeah.
The vocal guys were playing the worst, so they couldn't really be vocal. Ryan McMahon, captain, he can't really say anything. He's stinking it up,
Yeah.
The guys who are normally playing like Fresh is stinking it up. Darius is on the bench. This is when you're a captain.
Yeah.
You got to grab the guys by the shirt. You got to grab Jordan by the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, that bleeping freshman is playing better than you right now. Our teammate.
Yeah.
You got to say that in front of Sam and in front of Jordan.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Sam's playing harder than you right now.
Yeah.
He's a freshman.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to Sam. You know what I'm saying? He's playing harder than you. And Sam is going to sit right there and he's got to, he's going to own it. But I expect more from you than Sam. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I agree with that, man.
I think he missed the opportunity to step in early and be a voice.
Yeah.
To be a voice on the team.
Overall, not a good, it's never good to lose a game. I do like that they can recalibrate after this game. They are still, let me say this, I feel like I have to do this. They are still setting